Did you guys know that Lady Fatima alayhi salam, actually I wonder how many women would do this. Lady Fatima alayhi salam gave away her new dress on her wedding day to a poor lady who had come to her door. Next, please recite a loud salawat for one of our newest community members, Sister Fiona Doyle. I would like to ask you, Fiona, to remain on stage after you are done, if that's okay.
Salam. So I'm not used to talking to this many people, so I'm just going to pretend you're not here. So my name is Fiona. I come from Ireland. I moved to Canada 6.5 years ago with no intention of ever converting whatsoever. I was born and raised Catholic. My mom was what you would call a cultural Catholic in Ireland. We were made go to Mass every Sunday. We were taught how to pray every night and were reminded every night to pray. But we never learned how to read the Bible. We weren't what you would call a Christian in the sense in the United States. But we went to church because that's what everybody did. It was a social thing. It was, you kind of went because your friends went and you didn't want to seem any different. I made my communion, I was baptized, I had made my confirmation, so by all rights I was born and raised a Catholic. And even when I went home, I still went to Mass, even though as I grew older, I started to feel a disconnection between myself and the religion. There was aspects of the religion that I didn't agree on. And the more that I learned about who I was, the more I questioned it. Like, in Catholicism, there's really no place for women. And some might call me a feminist, but I think that men and women are equal. Not in the same ways, but I think that we can be equal in our own rights. And Catholicism didn't promote that. It tried to cover up women and tried to make women have a back seat. And for me, that wasn't right. So, about 4 years into living here, I took a class called From Jesus to Christ. Took it more so because it seemed like an easy class, not because I wanted to learn anything about religion. And was shocked to kind of learn that I had an interest in it and learned who the figure of Jesus was and how he became this Christ figure in Christianity. And the more I learned, the more that I realized that the church had manipulated Christianity and Catholicism and tried to make it something that suited them, that promoted their interests and changed the message that Jesus was trying to create. Women who were once supporters of Jesus were ignored in Catholicism. And although I kind of had an idea about it, it still shocked me. The following semester, I took another religion course, again because I thought it was going to be easy. And it was Intro to Religious Studies, where we learned about Christianity, Judaism and Islam. And for me, Judaism kind of seemed like something I already knew because it was on TV, but Islam tweaked my interest because I knew nothing about it. All I knew about Islam was that some of you didn't drink, and the women wore these scarves on their head that their husbands made them wear. That was it. We are not taught about Islam in Ireland whatsoever. What we learn is about those cliques of people that stick to themselves and don't make any form of connection with the outside world that we saw it and what the media portrays. So when I started to learn about the religion, I took an interest in it. I wanted to know why it was different, why there was so many terrorists in this place, but yet why there was still so many people that wanted to convert. Why, if it was such a terrible religion, why were people still Muslims? So, the more that I learned, the more that I got interested in it, and the more I wanted to dig deeper. Like I said, I had no intention of converting. All I wanted to do was become less ignorant and possibly defend these people that call themselves Muslim, who are good people, because the people that I had met that were Muslims were good people, and you couldn't put them on the same level as terrorists or anything like that. So I wanted to learn more and learn what the core values of this religion meant. And it really wasn't until I started learning about the Prophet and his family that I kind of turned around and went, oh God, this is different. And I'm starting to have feelings about this religion that I didn't think that I was going to have. And it wasn't until I actually learned about Fatima that the decision to convert really came to my mind. And I really thought, okay, this might be something that I have to look into further in terms of converting, because like I said, Christianity doesn't really encourage women in the religion. Women can't become priests, and as far as we are aware, in Catholicism, Jesus didn't have female disciples or anything like that. But Islam did. Islam had their version of disciples, and Ali was one of them, and Fatima was another. And it wasn't just females that looked up to her, it was male. And for me, that was different. And it wasn't just about the fact that she was related to the Prophet, it was her actions. How much she loved her husband, how much she loved God and people. Like was mentioned, she gave away her wedding dress on the day of her wedding. Like, I don't think I could be that good to do that, and I don't know a lot of women that would be. But she was selfless, and she stood up for women. I learned about a sermon that she gave after the Prophet's death recently, where she spoke up about the rights that she was denied. And she did it not for her because she knew she was never going to get her property or what she was owed. She did it for the rest of women, and the women that were going to come after her. In my eyes, she was really a role model for us women, and that was a surprise to see a woman like that, and the courage that she had, and that if she could do that, well, maybe I could even do some of what she does. We don't have role models to look up to in Christianity. We have Jesus, and that's it. Whereas in Islam, you have a whole family to look up to for courage, to look up to do the right thing. And for me, that really touched me. I realized that Islam was about community and about family, and that everybody is family. For me, we don't say brother and sister in Catholicism. We just say, oh, that's your one, or that's your man. We don't have that. In Islam, you call your sisters sisters and your brothers brothers. And that, for somebody that my whole family is in a different country across the sea, that was really comforting and nice for me. But after learning about Fatima, I decided that I was going to learn how to pray. And growing up, I prayed every night. And I did it more so because my mom made me pray. She reminded me constantly, but it always felt like I was talking to the wall. And I was only ever doing it for her, not because there was a God. I believed in a God, but I didn't know who he was or how I was supposed to communicate with him. In Catholicism, you're supposed to talk to a priest first to confess your sins. You can't talk to God directly. And for me, I always questioned that even as a young child. Well, why can't I talk to him directly if he's supposed to be this being who sees all and hears all? So when I learned how to pray, it actually felt like I was talking to God. And that surprised me again. And although it was incredibly frustrating learning how to speak Arabic, especially with the accent, I felt something, and it felt right. And it was scary to make the decision to convert because I'm by myself. I don't have my parents waking me up in the morning to go pray, or a spouse to kick me out of bed and say, it's Fajr, like you gotta get up. I don't have people to hold me accountable for my actions. I don't have somebody to tell me what I'm wearing is inappropriate. I don't have somebody to tell me, oh, you can't drink that or you can't eat that. But I've learned to change because it's something that I want to do, because in Islam, we have these role models. We have Fatima and Ali and the Prophet to tell us what to do, and it feels right. It took me about a year to actually decide that I was going to convert, and I finally did so in January. And I thought it was going to be scary, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to pray 5 times a day or do everything right. And I actually realized that once I did, it became so much easier because I now had a family. And I had people that, although they weren't there beside me in the mornings, they still sort of held me accountable. And I felt like God was there even more than He was before. So yeah, that is my story. As for picking out of the 2 sects, for me it came down to the Prophet and his family. And I felt that the Ahlul Bayt were the ideal family, and I wanted to have somebody to follow. I didn't want to follow anyone else. I wanted to follow the family because they were the most ideal. And it made sense to me that if the Prophet was the best person he could be, then why wouldn't his family be either? So that's why I chose the 2. So thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, feel free to come ask me, and I will try and answer them as best as I can. Thank you.